Just a simple needle drop, a rabbit hole I couldn't stop. Now a quest for perfect tone, for the greatest sound I've ever known. It's sound over the specs you see, an accidental audiophile, that's me!
On today's episode of An Accidental Audiophile, we will talk about something that happens yearly now for the past couple of years. As my job, I need to travel around the world, and last year was the longest trip where I had the opportunity to go to Sydney, Australia, Adelaide, Australia, Maroochydore, even New Zealand, and places around Europe for many, many years. So what I'm showing you here is just a view of the map of some places where we're going, and the goal here is that we always talk about the core day-to-day life of an audiophile, listening to his vinyls, his streaming services, and so forth and so forth. But part of it is that people who do travel, and mostly travel for more than 6, 7, 8 hours on an airplane, what is it that we do to prepare for this trip, and how do we make a choice of what we buy? So what we're going to show over here is basically the options I have for my trip. So we're going to go through this one by one. So the first thing we need to do is figure out which power supply to take with us. So here, this Ugreen device, I'll give you the details afterwards, is not only to power my audio equipment, but it also has enough power to power my laptop, and I'll have to determine if I'm taking the Microsoft Surface or the Dell Latitude laptop. But it has the USB-C connectors, the USB-A connectors. I think it's a 20,000 milliwatt battery. Don't quote me on that. This is kind of unique. I went to a Gartner conference. They gave us this battery pack. What I like about it, it has both USB-C and Lightning cable built into it. This is my handy MagSafe, MagReady charger as well, which I take with me. So typically I would take these two together, but I might consider taking this guy here because I will be going for an 18-hour trip from Montreal to Brazil, then to Uruguay and back. Then, and we'll go over this one by one, but I do have options as far as what to listen to. So over here I have the FiiO D13, I believe. It's a portable CD player, not a CD transport. So this guy has been very useful for me because I do like listening to my CDs. The question is, do I want to carry the bulk with me on that trip? Then we get into my DAPs. So over here I have my FiiO M11. So this has been in my companion for many, many years now, and I do like him. It has an SD storage to put the discs and so forth. The only thing is what I found about the FiiO sound, it's a little bit too neutral for me. It's not as exciting, to say the least, but it does work really, really well. It's a bit hefty though, if you could tell how thick it is. Although what I do like about it, it's easy to figure out what's up and down and to change the volume. It's a nice slide bar up and down. To do this, let me just kind of power him up. And there we go. This is a new edition I bought this year. It's the HiBy R6 III 2025. So what I like about him is that I like the DAC chip that he's in here. I believe it's not the AKM, the TSS chip. I'll give the details afterwards. But again, I'm not going into the specs. So this is more for what I'd like to listen subjectively. It took a while to get used to it. I didn't buy the case because the case, unfortunately, the volume knob on top with the case makes it really hard to change the volume. But basically here, let me just kind of go in here. There's a lot of options with Android with a HiBy player, and the buttons work really, really good. I do have an SD card. Now what I like about this guy too, he has balance in and balance out, line in and line out, where the FiiO does have a balance in and balance out, but it doesn't have line in and line out. Recently in one of my videos I did unbox the HiBy W4. So the intention of this guy here is to upstream from your Samsung phone or your iPhone, the built-in DACs on those phones to a real purposeful built DAC, but it's also a Bluetooth receiver. So basically it'll receive the playing from the phone to the W4, and it does have line in and line out. Sorry, I apologize. This one has balance in and balance out, balance in and regular jack to put in your phones. This one here, the only thing is that what I found from using the W4, and I'll talk about a little bit more afterwards, is that it's not as simple to use. Once you figure it out, it works pretty good. I did have to do an upgrade to the firmware on the device, and that was a pain. I think everything was in Chinese. It took a while to figure out what to do to get the upgrade, but I do like it because he does have the mag battery capability. So what that means is that paired with my iPhone 16, I kind of flip it over, just kind of put this there, and what's nice about it, it just stays there and it's compact. So I might decide to take this with me. I have to make a decision because I don't want to carry too many things, although I will say that the iPhone 16 has to go with me because that's my travel phone for work. So that's where my eSIM card is on the device. Before I get to the next ones, I have an older player. This guy's quite a few years old, but he's the Sony Walkman. He's an older version. I think he's still on Android 9. Still works. It still has Tidal and Kubos, and does have SD slots and everything. And I do like the compact size of it. The only challenge I have with this guy here is basically it's not the tonality. It's just more like the operating system is not as easy, fast. Well, right now it seems to be fast, but typically when you started playing music on this device, things tend to slow down. But I do like how portable he is, and again, he has balance in and balance out. He was my first, let's say, real DAP that I bought many years ago. Used it many times across the world. Still serviceable, but again, I think because it's running Android 9, she's starting to show her age, and that's why I've updated her to the FiiO and now the HiBy. Now again, the FiiO was my reference DAP, but once I heard how this HiBy sounded, incredible. And that's why I paired it with the HiBy W4 that came out. Now, what I have done is that I bought recently the FiiO. I believe it's, I'll put the descriptions afterwards, but this is the FiiO K11, I believe, or the M11. No, I can't remember. Don't quote me. But basically, he's a Bluetooth transmitter. So basically, with this guy here, is that you put him on the phone, and basically through the USB-C, and then he'll transmit Bluetooth at a higher rate to your phone, which is fantastic. It's really something that works really good. The only challenge here is that when I plug her into the USB-C, there is software on the computer. Let me just kind of get into the password here. So let me just go here, find the FiiO software, FiiO control. Sorry for the zoom there. So you can see the FiiO AirLink. Sorry, it's the FiiO AirLink. Sorry, there's so many product names these days. But what happens is that it works really good, but I find that sometimes when it's in my pocket, it just moves a little bit too much. It's not the phone itself, it's just this here, and it'll drop connection, which is annoying, to be very honest. But I have to say that when I pair this with my Bluetooth speakers, which we'll talk in a second, it's tremendous. And what I'm trying to do is the comparison of the AirLink, FiiO AirLink with the W4. And you can see this here is very simple. You just plug it in, done. This guy's a little bit more heftier, has more, has battery capability, has more capacity, more wattage to push to the headphones. And that's why I want to give this guy a go onto this. Now again, this was like under $100. This was $100 as well. And you know, like just recently I bought the Mojo, the Chord Mojo 2. So this guy here, it's something of more of a reference device. It's something where I never thought I would buy this product. I've seen it on YouTube. It always looks cheap on the YouTube. Never really understood it, but I figured for this trip I will try it out. What I will say this, I have here the casing for it, and it's pretty tight in here. This thing is amazingly built, amazing. Getting used to how to do the color combinations for the menu to get to different features of the Mojo is still getting used to. Now this is the new version that has the new balance out, which I wanted. It still runs on older USB technology to power the device. It has USB-C to connect to the phone and so forth. Now the intention here is that to take it with me, you can see the difference between the W4, this guy here, and even the little dongle here. And the goal here is to connect it to MagSafe and create like a brick to take it with me. And now when I'm on the plane, it's not bad. I don't need to keep it like a sandwich. I can keep it separate. The only thing I'll say is this, right? And we'll talk about this a little later on. Out of all the portable DACs that I have, this guy is fantastic. I am shocked how detailed the sound stage, the imaging, the brightness, all the stuff everybody uses to talk about the audiophile world of listening. This guy is amazing, to the point where, like we talked, I have the now ever so low A8, which is a great little DAC. Let me go here. I have the FiiO K15 for my desktop as a DAC. If I knew about the Chord Mojo, how good it was, before I started buying the A8 and so forth, I would have really done more research and looking into getting the Chord products as my main drivers. The sound of this thing is incredible. I'm not going to go into the details of all the features because there's tons and I'm still learning. All to say is that I paired this guy with my Meze Albas IEMs, and when I bought the IEMs, they were good. They worked. Didn't blow my mind. It wasn't not compared to my Technics AZ100s, which is my portable. This will always go with me in all my travels. It just easy, works fantastic, great sound, whatever. But when I put this guy with these IEMs, went from, let's say, $140 value, or let's say $200 value, to $700. I was shocked how much better they sounded. And I did pair this IEM with the FiiO K15 to try it out. It was good, but this thing's just like rock solid. Like, it just shook me. It's similar when I pair this Bluetooth transceiver with my, where is she? The Bathys from Focal. So when I use this dongle with the Bathys, now the Bathys has its own DAC, but I just wanted wireless when I walk around the dog or whatever the case might be. Much better than the built-in Bluetooth that's built into Samsung or the iPhone. Right now I'm using the Samsung S24 to do the recording of this video. Now the DAC is still very good. So when you do the USB DAC to a phone, specifically on the Samsung, amazing. When I do the DAC to the iPhone, it's okay. It's better, but I found that something about the iPhone just kind of muzzles the sound. I'm not sure what it is, but when I do the Bluetooth, it becomes more alive, the music, whatever the case. But again, we'll talk about the headphones in a second, but I just want to go over the different things I do have. Now, I've had other earbuds from Sony, the MX5s and the MX4s, but the batteries have died. Unfortunately, it's something that happens a lot with Sony earbuds past the warranty. So I know the MX6 just came out from Sony. I'm not going to buy them. I'm very happy with the Technics. I just don't trust Sony's battery, but that's my experience. It could be different for yours. Now, what we see here is my collection of headphones, and basically there's a couple of headphones that we're going to rule out that are definitely not coming to me on the trip. So the Focal Clear MGs are not coming with me, so I'm just going to put them on the side. The Bathys, 100%, no questions asked. They're coming with me, but I'll put some caveats onto it. Then I have here the Focal Celeste. Now, I did take them to a trip a couple years ago to France, and these are expensive headphones. And what happened was, unfortunately, I lost the main cables. It was a long flight. Don't know what happened. Just kind of forgot the cables in the side of the chair. It was too late for me to get back to them. Just a real life experience. So they did work as a close back. It's not as good as like ANC headphones, but they work pretty good. But I'm definitely not going to take the Celestes with me on this trip for the same reason for the clear MGs. I'm not going to take that value with me on the trips. Now I do have the open back Haddonies, and I was considering the Haddonies potentially, like walk around the city. They're open back. They're not going to be good for the airplane, that's for sure. But I also want to be careful how much weight I do carry. So I'm making a decision not to take the Haddonies. But I have to say again, when I paired the Haddonies with the Mojo, these headphones went from I'm not sure what the retail value is today, $700, $600, to like $1,200 phone. Like, it's incredible how much the Mojo made these, which are not balanced, just blew my mind how much better they are, to the point where I'm listening to the Haddonies more than I was in the recent past. And the reason for that is because I bought the 109 Pros, which I will not take on this trip. So the 109 Pros is what I use to do my Teams meetings. I think they're fantastic, super comfortable. They look amazing, but I'm not going to take any risks of taking them on an airplane, that's for sure. But similar, when I paired this to the Chord, they sound amazing. Now, for whatever reason, I find that the 109 Pros and the K15 work better for sound quality on these headphones for my ears, while the Mojo and the Haddonies just, it blew my mind. Now, I do have some Bluetooth headphones. So the Sonos Ace, to be honest, I bought this not to do anything other than pair it to my Sonos Arc in the living room. So when the kids and the wife and everybody goes to bed, I put these on at night so I don't disturb the family. So even though they are portable and they're pretty decent, they're not coming with me. Then we get into the, the best of the best. I'm not a Bose guy. Nothing wrong with Bose. It just doesn't tickle my fancy. So these are the Bose MX5s. If I get the names wrong, I do apologize. So I've been using them for years. I've taken them for many years on trips. They're amazing for canceling out sounds. Then last year for Australia, I bought these before I went to Australia, the MX6s. So the MX6s, I like them because they're more compact. You can fold them, whatever the case. They feel a little bit more thicker on the ears to fit in, whatever the case. The only thing is that the sound, and maybe because I've been spoiled by the Bathys, I find that the sound is not to my liking anymore. If I had to choose between the MX6 and the MX5s to take on the trip for ANC, I would probably, it's going to be tough. I'll probably take the MX6s. They're easy to fold than the MX5s. Now, what I do is whenever the family goes to Greece, if anybody asks why I have so many, I hand these to the family so they have the proper cancellation earphones in the thing. So 100% the Bathys, even though they're not the best of the best for canceling airplane noise, the sound quality, I just can't live without it. It is my go-to device. Unless the Bathys MGs drop in price, I'm not going to try to upgrade these guys. But these are my go-to take away, walk around anywhere in the world earphones. So anything is, again, you got to be careful so you don't lose them because they are kind of pricey. So I always take the cover, the case with me. I might take the MX6, but again, I want to see how light I will have. So definitely, I'm going to take the Bathys. I'm going to take the Technics. Now, I will take the Meze Albas, because what happens on super long flights is that when I want to sleep, it's not comfortable to have earphones when you try to move your head back and forth. So the intention here is that use this to listen to my podcasts, my music, YouTubes, whatever the case may be, or things on the laptop on the plane, or even the movies. But when I start feeling a little bit drowsy, sleepy, I'm going to put these guys on. Now, I could put these guys on, and they have good cancellation, but the problem is that because these things can fall off your ears, I don't want to go like searching on an airplane when they fall down in between the seats, so I'm not going to use those for that type of purpose. This is really on the go, quick in and out, go to the gym, walk around, whatever the case. But I'm going to test these guys out, and I did buy the new Comply foam-based ear tips to try them out to see if they do a better seal. Right, so I just want to give you guys just a high-end overview of my equipment and the decision process I am going to go through to do this. And I'm curious to see how to take the bigger weighted Mojo with all its accessories. And in fact, I bought this to make life a little bit easier to connect this to the phone. So we'll see how that experiment goes. The other one, I want to make sure that I don't lose this guy, because he is, small, whatever the case. When you travel super long hours on a plane, hotels, whatever the case, it's easy to forget smaller items and so forth. So what I will do is I did buy this case from Ugreen, and I'm gonna put all the stuff into there, the cables, the Mojo, whatever they take in here, so to always know that I have all the equipment with me. So that's it for today, guys. Just want to go over the thought process of taking long flights. Again, these flights are well of excess of 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, even connecting flights, whatever the case might be. The CD-ROM, I might take this when we go to vacation to Greece, because I think that's something that I could enjoy, because we'll talk about this later on as I progress in learning how to do these YouTube videos. I am in love with the Shangling CD transport. It's amazing how much more listening of CD I am doing these days, and we'll probably talk about that in a future episode. So in the meantime, here's a picture I took in South Africa of a lion. So yeah, I took this with an iPhone 14 at the time. Don't drop your phone, because I think you're not going to be able to go get it. But I will definitely report back to you guys how the trip goes. And if you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And I do this just more as a hobby, and just to contribute whatever I can to the community. Thanks, everybody.
Just a simple needle drop, a rabbit hole I couldn't stop. Now a quest for perfect tone, for the greatest sound I've ever known. It's sound over the specs you see, an accidental audiophile, that's me.